Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Sharing interests. The wife and I have been married for 3 beautiful years. Problem is she doesn't enjoy my hobbies as much as I do. The missus used to happily join me on adventures such as camping or fishing. Now she won't so much as go on a simple hike with me. We have a 7-year-old, and since the kiddo, these adventures have been a little tough to plan and follow through with, which I understand, but it can be hard on me. I like to get out at least once a week to clear my mind, but now that's been reduced to around once a month. She's upset every time I leave on a quick trip to the Rockies etc. because I'm not helping enough with the kid. I've told her numerous times they should both come along, but she never agrees to this as she no longer enjoys those types of things. Should I give up on the sights I love to see, and adventures I can't help but indulge in? I do want to be there for my family, but I can't cut these things out of my life forever, but that's what she expects of me. Advice is greatly appreciated. Life changes when you have a kid. How often does she get away from you and the kid to clear her head? If she's not choosing to get away, is it because she worries about how well the kid will be taken care of while she's gone? I love hiking and camping, but the idea of doing it with a toddler makes me shudder. There's no way to relax in the wilderness with a toddler. It's hard enough to do when you're at home with one. You're a father now, your life is going to change and you're going to have to learn how to cope. I'd also suggest becoming more involved in parenting, because based on this post I'm assuming she's doing the brunt of it. Thanks for the reply. She has girls' weekends/nights out around once a week to every other week. She just doesn't like camping anymore, and she definitely doesn't like me camping either. She for sure does most of the hard work with our child, as I have a job and I greatly appreciate her for it. When she goes out with the ladies I'm there for the kiddo, and if she needs a break there I am. It's no problem, I just want to camp more. Again thank you, thumbs up. Follow up with her friends to find out if she was really going out with them or seeing her co-worker. Yep, considering that now. Hurts to look back at this post with the truth now found out. My wife cheated on me and says it's not her fault. NSFW. This past weekend the kiddo and I went on a 2-day camping trip for some father-son bonding time. My wife doesn't like camping herself at all anymore and doesn't even appreciate our kid and I going. This is a big hobby for me and I want to share it with my son. Usually we argue a lot about my trips, especially if I request to bring our child, but this time she was oddly cooperative about the whole thing, but still insisted she wouldn't join us. I was surprised but didn't question anything because I was so excited that she was finally allowing us to go and I didn't want her to change her mind. I thought we had finally found a common ground and the arguments were ending. I was wrong. We had a great trip and returned back on Monday. We expected to come home to an empty house as my wife should have been at her office for a few more hours. I walked the kid up to his room as he was exhausted and ready for a nap. Afterwards, I walked into our bedroom to find a naked man in my bed. I recognized him as my wife's coworker, whom I have met numerous times at her work functions. At first I was in disbelief and even wondered if I was in the right house. Then my wife walked out of our bathroom, also naked, and I had no more doubts. She looked petrified when she saw me. I have never been so angry. I yelled at the dude to get out of my house so I could speak to my wife. He grabbed his clothes and left. Then we started arguing. I never yell at my wife, we always want to keep things civil for our son, but I was so hurt I was screaming. Then my wife decides to get defensive, saying it's not her fault that I am barely around and camp so much, even though I hardly go on trips anymore because she doesn't like it. She says that's what drove me to do this, your neglect to this family. I was in tears at that point. I just don't understand how her cheating could be my fault. When I turned around to leave, my son was standing in the doorway and I felt terrible for yelling. I quickly consoled him, but my wife snapped at me again, telling me to get my hands off him. Now she won't speak to me and says I can't see my child until I apologize. Apologize for what? She said we could go on this trip. She planned to cheat, and that kills me. It makes me wonder if she has done this before. I'm stuck staying with my parents right now. I don't know what to do. I want to see my son. I'm worried I really scared my child, and of course I would apologize to him, just not my wife, but maybe it is my fault. TLDR, my wife cheated on me while my son and I were on a camping trip. She says it's my fault for camping too much. Update, I'm back home now, and decided it was best to get here ASAP. Things are quiet, but I'm relieved to be back in the same space as my son. Thank you all for the advice and kind words, it means so much. I'll keep you all updated if you'd like. Edit, thank you all again for the support, I appreciate it. Smile. Sorry I can't reply to everyone, there's a lot of you and things are tough right now. But thank you so much. Edit, in case of any confusion, I am Canadian. Update, hello again everyone, sorry for my absence. I have been busy. I posted a more in-depth update on my account if anyone is curious. In short, divorce is in the works as well as custody of my son. Don't leave the house. It is your property and child too. Don't let her claim you abandoned your son while she is the primary care for the kid. Thanks for the advice. I felt bad and pressured to leave, but you're right, I need to stand my ground. Heading back to the house this evening. Reassure your son he is the most important person in your life. Do not engage with your wife. Separate your money now. Start a book on dates of your camping and check against phone records. Get a nanny cam to protect yourself while in the home. I will. Never thought of a camera, it's a great idea, I will pick one up. Thanks brother, flexed biceps. This is a follow-up to my last post about my cheating wife. NSFW. For the past week, I have been working with a lawyer to initiate the process of divorce and gaining full custody of my son, with the exception of visitation for now until more is resolved. Things were awkward and tense for the first few days of me being back home, so my wife, using wife to keep things simple and identities private, decided to leave to stay with the guy I found naked with her. I'm disappointed at the example she's setting for our son, but this makes my decision to divorce even more concrete. I will continue to share as much as I can if that's what people would like, but of course the court has its confidentialities that I must keep within its boundaries. I want to thank everyone for the continued support you all have shown me throughout this tough time in my life, I really do appreciate it. Edit, I just want to note, please don't just blame women / use this situation to be misogynistic. My, now, ex-wife revealed she is pregnant with a man she cheated with and no longer wants to see our child. This is another, and most likely final, update about my ex. See my past posts for more information if you'd like. I expected my last update to be the final post regarding my marriage, but this felt like a necessary thing to share. Last week I received several texts from my ex saying she was pregnant with an unknown man's child. Obviously meaning she cheated with multiple other people before the one I found out about. She said she plans to keep the baby and start a family with her co-worker. Other posts have context. She also mentioned that she wouldn't be fighting me for custody of our son. I told her I would be willing to split custody or at least keep visitation rights for the sake of the kiddo, but she insisted she didn't care about that anymore. I am honestly in awe. I'm shocked she has given up on everything about the family we had, but I am most hurt for my son. At the end of the day, she isn't worth wasting any more of my energy on. I have been spending every moment I can with my kid and will continue to do so. I'm starting to feel more like myself again and I can't wait to get back into adventures and nature. Smile. I'd like to say a final thanks to everyone for the support and encouragement. I will always be grateful for that. Tobias out, victory hand, for now. That sounds like she is potentially the most toxic figure that child could ever be. She's disgusting and he better get some money out of her. And for her to give up custody. She will duck him up if she sees him on a regular basis. If she changes her mind later and wants to start seeing him, you need to shut that down. Honestly, if he can afford it, he's better off just letting her disappear. I would have loved nothing better than to have never accepted a dime from my ex and not had him in my or my daughter's life. We would have both been better off. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to raise her on my own, but if I could have, I would have gladly let his scummy ass walk away. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.